Are you ready? Are you ready to pod it up?
Let's go. Let's have fun.
Pete cast it.
This is the Simply Youth Ministry Podcast with Doug Fields,
But we are an award-winning podcast. We gotta start promoting that.
Matt McGill,
Let's soak up that awesomeness. How great is this?
Wow.
Josh Griffin,
Just to throw it in there, not all of our shows are going to be great.
and Katie Edwards.
That's what the teens are saying.
Write in. We'll answer your email.
SYMpodcast@gmail.com. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Simply Youth Ministry
Hey, everybody.
Podcast, episode 148.
Doug, your voice sounds incredible.
Doug Fields, Husky Doug Fields here with my friends Matt McGill, Josh Griffin, and of course, the Queen,
And the tree. We have a tree.
Katie Edwards. Yeah, this is our first Christmas show of the 2010 year. We are recording live on November 30th. I lost my voice this weekend. I was speaking at a fabulous church called Rock Harbor.
All right.
And I was a little sick over Thanksgiving
To the grown-ups.
to the grown-ups. And on Saturday night, I did fine. I was a little bit like this on Saturday night, a couple times at really high pitch. And I went, I wonder when I was going
Should
to reach
record
puberty.
something. Like, everybody's voice sounds good when it's, a little hoarse.
Yeah.
It's a little jazzy.
I
Well,
agree with that normally.
here's what
Little
happened on
bluesy.
Sunday morning.
Do some
Except for
VO
Doug.
work.
Sunday morning, I was doing everything I could to get through the 9 o'clock service. Painful. My family's there. My kids are just
They're
afterwards.
embarrassed that you're
Well,
your dad.
Cassie said, "Dad, that was so tough to listen to."
Oh.
I mean, I was doing everything I could to get the words out.
That's an
And-
For that to come out of
And you
Cassie,
twittered that
too.
you didn't want to hurt their reputation. So do you think maybe you did that?
I might have,
Well,
but
then
here's
they
what
end
the
up asking you not to speak.
yeah the
Like,
senior
listen,
pastor he said, "Why don't you go home?" He says, "We have it on video. We'll show the video next service." And he said, "People will understand because it's obvious that you can tell when I'm speaking I'm sick."
Yeah.
And I even stopped during the message at Sunday morning, 9 o'clock, and I said, "Folks, I know I'm a visitor here, but I'm grossing myself out listening to my voice. So I can't imagine what you're feeling." And they sent me home, and they showed the video. I had some friends who were there at the service, and they said the video was fine.
That's awesome.
Great.
They cut the honorarium in half, but whatever.
Yeah, well,
The third release.
Oh, a third. You're
Yeah.
right. 3 services. Oh, yeah.
Josh and I have already been talking about his math today. Josh and I
you
had
know
lunch
that
beforehand.
half
He goes,
of the half-
It goes half of the half, and then half of that half, and then there would be
That's
half
an
of
eighth. But he just didn't want to say
That's
eighth.
ENTP.
I felt like it was too complicated, so I was trying to keep it real.
Anyway,
Keep it simple.
this show,
Simple guy.
speaking of math, is brought to us by 99 Thoughts for All Small Group Leaders.
I hear that's a great
By,
little book to give your volunteers
Yeah,
this
speaking of
Christmas.
math, because it has
Josh
more than
Griffin.
99 thoughts in it.
Speaking of 153 thoughts, doesn't have the same ring to it.
With Doug Fields. And this
Doug.
will continue to be our sponsor until somebody actually sponsors the show.
Merry Christmas,
see that.
everybody.
No, I'd rather you not have it. but-
Okay. You were criticizing my editing skills on that,
Yeah?
and I just found out that when I read it, it wasn't the version that you read it in. I feel like we need to get that.
Well, let me just say, because the show is brought to you by 99 Thoughts for All Small Group Leaders, there are, some of you will remember that I gave free author copies
That's correct.
to the live
Yeah,
show.
11
Josh,
people.
did Josh give any away? I don't think Josh
Yeah,
gave any.
Josh gave some on his blog.
And remember, I got less author copies than you.
Even
Well,
though you're
that's
the
not my
true
fault.
author and he's the with author. And
Yeah.
So, how come everyone's got papers but me?
Oh, listen, Matt. We've been wanting to talk.
Somebody was
man.
late.
I was 2 minutes late.
All right, so this is from
Do
Dave
you want my
Libben.
papers?
Dave Libben says, guys, just finished the book in one sitting. Loved it. Have already ordered for all of our small group leaders a copy. Here's a
Excellent.
review I
Just
put up on my
photocopy it.
blog.
Oh,
Great job. Happy Thanksgiving. And his blog is at davelibben.com.
I kind of want to
And
read that.
I was kind of surprised you didn't, because
Yeah.
on your other book, 99 Thoughts for Small Group Leaders, which, no, other
Yeah.
For
99
youth workers.
youth workers,
yeah.
which is junk compared to this
I
award,
like
Be jump
it.
period. I don't know.
award-winning.
It's good.
No,
Thank
it's
you.
very good, but I'm just saying, it's compared to the book that is sponsoring
The
this show.
superior.
Oh, yeah.
He writes on his blog, I thought it was he wrote very nice stuff, but he says, if you are one of our many small group leaders here at St. Andrews, reading this post and thinking that you'd like to pick up a copy of it, don't. I've already ordered you all one. Thanks for loving teenagers.
That's super cool.
That's
nice?
so
That's
great.
super cool. Thank
So
you.
good job, Dave
good.
Libben.
That's awesome.
I think
That's
just
so
photocopy
cool.
the book.
This week,
That wouldn't surprise me, Matt, that you would do something with lack integrity. You got a journal about that and reflect
Yeah.
on that.
yeah,
What are we talking about this week in the youthministrydaily.com
fail.
/
Failing forward.
It's evaluating, reflecting,
That's right.
thinking about our failures.
That's right.
It's clever.
I wrote
Learning
those like
from
3
them.
weeks ago, so I can't really remember.
I read it today for the first time.
Yeah.
I
Was it a
gonna
good
quit
post?
This morning, and now I'm back in.
Now you're ready to fail
Oh.
forward.
You too? Up top.
Amazing.
It wasn't
That's
about how not to quit. It was just how to learn from your failures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those failures made me want to quit.
And now you've just learned from
And
them.
now I'm gonna quit.
Now you
forward.
know how to
Wait.
move forward out of your failure. Yeah.
Friends, team members, countrymen,
My fellow Americans.
fellow Americans.
George
And
Bush.
Scandinavians.
Countryman's funny.
Thank you.
Good job.
Okay, we're actually wearing a countryman mic. We have a historic show today.
Oh.
We have some major life change announcements.
What's
on
historic
this,
about today?
this side of the table.
Are you
over
having
here
another
on-
baby?
We are pregnant.
Actually, I'm
That's something
Josh's
we did not
baby.
take. Matt is my firstborn son.
We have some life changing announcements.
Have
that-
we not announced the changes?
love
of my
life
We weren't
This
allowed
is your
to.
big coming
Oh,
out
it's just
party.
your life.
that's
It's not
right.
mine. Can't
That's
talk about my
right.
changes.
Well, you said this half of the table and pointed towards me.
This half of the table. You and Josh
Oh.
did the same
Well, I
mathematics.
just thought I wasn't
See,
going to
half-
correct your imprecision.
That's
'cause
why you don't have
I
papers.
gave up correcting that long ago.
All right, get to it. Let's hear your big.
What is it?
no, we're
Doug?
going to save it.
Oh.
Let's save
like
it a little
it.
bit. This
Yeah.
is from Angie Barker.
I
Angie
feel like we haven't
says,
been able to talk about it. For
Congratulations to Matt.
I was stranded at the airport all night after a full day of horrendous car travel trying to get to the National Youth Workers Convention, and your wonderfully entertaining and informative podcast helped me stay
informative.
awake. Many
go.
thanks, Angie from Columbus International
Just enough Doug
Airport.
Fields so you don't feel guilty for listening.
Staying awake usually makes people fall asleep. So that's really.
I know, that's right. I thought she was going to go with that.
Well, we got scolded by our.
I love it when we get scolded.
we haven't
we
got
do.
we haven't got scolded in a long
I
time.
know, I love it. Bring it on.
But remember our guy from Germany
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
that his last name was Success
Should we
without the
say
S.
something in
Yeah.
offensive in
Success.
German?
And Bernard, so he's right here. He's our.
Oh, yeah.
He's
yeah,
on
yeah.
our rewind
Oh.
wall, which actually we got some.
That's confusing. That's why we say it
Well,
wrong.
he says I heard that the pronunciation of my last name that I wrote it was so bad. To make this right, I sent you an audio file so that you can hear the pronunciation, kind of like a little German lesson.
Oh.
Always the Germans.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That's right.
Educating us. I love
Starting
it.
war.
I don't like
Take
the
over the
English
world.
pronunciation of sachet because it sounds like sexy.
What?
Sachet.
Oh, but it does.
Therefore, I would appreciate if you would pronounce my name the German way. Thank you.
What is the German way?
Oh.
Well, he attached an
German way
audio
is
file,
sexy.
but I didn't know how to.
Yeah, that doesn't play on the paper.
No, didn't know how to do
How
it.
does this thing? No.
It won't
I'll
talk
tell you how
to
to say
me.
his name. Let me see.
I
How do
think sexy. I'm gonna call him sexy from now
Sexy?
on.
Bernard Sexy. He kind of has that look,
He
doesn't
does. He's like, check out my beard.
Soft.
Right next to
I
Danette
bet you
Matty,
it's
who's
just
got her
one
glamour photo. Talk about sexy.
Okay, I don't think
It's
that's a glamour
Saxay,
photo. I think
right?
that's a family picture. That's
Don't
her
you think
husband
that's a
right
little
next
glamour
to her.
photo, Katie?
Glamorous.
That's her husband
I
next
think
to
it's
her.
glamorous.
That's not like
She
a
cropped
headshot.
out- She cropped out.
But
her
she has
husband?
to stand out on a whole wall of people, so you got to throw your best foot forward on this thing.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
or your best face forward.
Exactly.
Your best earrings.
Hey, speaking of some faces, we got a couple. Here is Scott Tinman, who we've seen a lot. He's on our
yeah.
00 Club, back to the beginning.
I like the
And
Scott.
he is holding a book of our sponsoring product, 99 Thoughts for Small Group Leaders. It's backwards, though, because he took a picture into a mirror.
Oh.
He says, just thought I'd send in my wall photo for being a 00 episode listener and
yeah.
participant. Love getting the podcast and even participating from time to time in the live shows. Looking forward to being with the other team members in a couple months at the Simply Youth Ministry Conference in Chicago, March 4th through 7th.
Gonna be
That's
a blast.
exciting.
We'll all be there. Katie's first live show.
I know. I'm nervous.
No, you're going to be great.
And my first steak, right?
We need to do something different for this live show.
Really? What do you
I
wanna
don't
do?
know. I just feel
Let's
like we
wear
need
costumes.
to
Plan it out a little bit,
Want to
maybe?
do costumes?
Let's wear matching outfits.
I had a costume last year.
Matt did.
Sweat.
Right, you did.
Yeah,
but
I'm
that
trying to
wasn't really
want-
a costume. It was just a transition, new wardrobe
What's
change
your
for
mall
you.
going where?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a costume. You still
Anyway,
wear it.
Scott is bringing 4 of his volunteers with him. I took this picture in my office with one of my new favorite resources, 99 Thoughts for Small Group
Oh,
Leaders.
man.
Thanks, Doug, for sharing your author's copy that I won a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Of course
Fun that
of
he
course
won
he
one.
likes it. He
I
got
wish
it for
the
free.
co-author would share some of his. Hey, let's talk about a job change.
What's your
Well,
job change?
here's the
Well,
big
you want to talk about mine?
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
Did it get announced?
What is happening?
it's not as big as Matt's.
Oh, okay.
Mine's like an
I
addition.
only know about math. I don't know about you.
Well, tomorrow I become official.
Let me become an audience member.
All right, I become.
part of the team.
Let me get up to the mic. Press conference. I'd
Countryman.
like to announce
Hanging on
that
your every word right now.
tomorrow morning, December 1st, Doug Fields joins the faculty at Azusa Pacific University
Oh,
as
right.
one
Because
of
it
their,
was the school I went to?
one of their youth ministry professors.
Do you get your picture in the yearbook?
I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't negotiate that.
Are you
Professor!
smoking in the teacher's lounge?
Professor Fields.
There it is.
Professor Fields,
That's big.
Oh,
Well, it'll be
doctor.
fun.
Dr.
Be fun.
Douglas.
Dude,
that's
congratulations, alma mater.
That's
what do we say?
exciting. What are you
Proctologist?
teaching? Youth ministry?
Youth
Are you a
ministry.
chair of a department or something?
You know what? No, no, no.
Economics.
Are you a
no.
department head?
No, I'm like a little.
Accounting.
I'm a little peon. I'm actually. I'm most excited about. I'm going to be mentoring some of the students that are youth ministry
That's
majors.
awesome.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so fun.
Can you
So-
get an intern up at Saddleback so we can?
I think that would be
love
part
it.
of the gig.
I
would be
like
chicken.
it.
Just Saddleback.
Yeah, that's the only church that we represent so
I
far
just
at this
find me a
table.
girl. I just need
Okay,
one girl.
I will. Anyway, I'm very excited. I get to
Female,
work
so
with
we like to say.
my youth pastor Jim Burns and my dear friend, and
That's
I love
incredible.
Azusa.
That's
I'm
exciting.
gonna get to see my son once a week.
That's so fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be on the campus full time. I'm just
Yeah.
teaching
But you
class
just get to hang out and
Teaching
talk
a
youth
class.
mentoring
ministry.
students,
It's
just
so fun.
doing youth ministry,
Just doing life on campus.
just the youth ministry.
campus life.
There you go.
Dude, that's awesome. Congratulations.
was
But that
great.
that job announcement is minor. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, that's like a 3.
that's
Because you could
pretty
kind of
major.
you
I
can
know,
kind of expect
becoming
it.
a professor.
Yeah, I
pretty
mean, that's
exciting.
what youth ministry moguls do.
Well,
Right.
Kids are going to be calling you their prof and everything.
Yeah.
It's going to be so
Hey,
fun.
Are you going to have office hours?
no,
Are you going to have an office?
nope,
Oh,
no. I'm just.
Are you adjunct?
You know
I
what
don't know
adjunct
what
means?
adjunct means.
It means not needed.
I don't know. Some of my adjunct professors, I guess I could see why.
It will
that's what they're
become
called.
more official
'Cause you
as we
didn't know
figure
them.
out what I'm actually going to do. But I know I'm
That's
going
cool.
to
That's
teach
fun.
a youth ministry class and
great.
be involved in the lives of some of the
Well,
students.
that's great. They made it official before you even really know what it is you're going to do.
No,
What
I have
happens
a
if
job
they-
description.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not a major. It's not like career altering.
are you
like
going to give
yours.
tests?
Probably.
Dude,
Who's
that's
going to
cool.
grade them?
I don't know. That's
To be determined.
the intern that we bring
Yeah.
out from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Your new
wait a minute.
I got a
TA
bad
slash
feeling about
intern.
this.
It sounds
Matt
like
can
I
always
just
do
got
it.
another
He's-
job description right there.
Exactly.
Well,
grade
but the
test. I would love
the
to
real
grade a test.
announcement, ladies and gentlemen,
This is it.
to our team members who are wondering what is Matt's job going to be.
Why would they be wondering that?
Because
They are.
everybody
They
wonders.
just-
You've been here 6 months. They're going, he can't work here longer than 6 months.
What's up with that?
Brazel's kicking me off staff.
Matt is becoming the high school pastor, really Josh's peer,
Absolutely.
So
at
far
a
from being Josh's peer.
fabulous church down the street called Mariners Church.
If
Yay.
Matt and I could be peers, that would be awesome. I've always wanted to be your peer.
We're peers, right?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely, you're way above him.
Yeah, you guys, come
No
on.
way. What are you
So
talking
Matt
about?
is
I'm like a, I'm a
Matt.
I want to
under
be on
Katie,
you. I want to be the same
Doug,
level.
we all know how this works. It's cool.
Matt is
You're
Matt is
silly.
leaving Simply Youth Ministry, but he's still going to do the podcast.
Still gonna do the podcast whenever
And-
I can fit it in my schedule.
Oh, crap. There it is.
Wow.
No, we're gonna-
You're gonna be that guy.
Yeah.
No,
Don't
Come on.
turn
You
it
guys,
up.
I gotta drive 3 cities.
That is a long ways away.
Yeah,
It's
you
almost
guys.
11
Maybe we
miles.
should do the podcast out there.
if you can figure out how to do it, I think every third one we could do that.
I would like to try
Fourth.
some new restaurants out your way.
Yes. Do you realize what you're entering into? Mariners is like in the central place of wonderful lunch spots.
Is it really?
Yes.
That's great.
There's so
It's
many
strong. It's
in
strong.
a less than 10-minute drive of amazing lunch spots.
Well,
Yeah.
it's an amazing church.
It's a great
Mariners
church.
Church.
Katie's
Matt
actually worked there in the past.
I did work there.
Yeah.
Katie's
Loved
worked
it.
there. Matt grew up there.
Loved
It's
it.
awesome.
I was.
You just spoke there. You were
I
part
was
of
You
the
were the
youth
youth
pastor,
pastor there?
from
Yeah.
81 to 92 there.
So cool.
Yeah.
When Matt was in high school, and Matt is going to be the high school guy there, and it is a great, great, great move.
So excited.
But Matt's going to continue to do the podcast.
Yeah.
We're still going to do Youth Ministry Daily.
Yeah.
it.
and he'll be at the conferences.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they want me to go to the conference.
Oh, yeah, more than ever,
No,
dude. Are
just
you
kidding.
kidding me?
More than
Yeah,
dodgeball.
more than
Should change.
dodgeball.
More than ever.
Speaking
than
of mass
ever.
transition, more than dodgeball.
More than dodgeball.com.
Dude.
I'm
Congratulations.
really
Are you
uncomfortable
nervous?
talking about me right now.
Why?
Let's
to
talk
do
about
that.
you a little more. This is
Yeah.
a really big deal.
I mean,
What are
How's
you
the
most
live audience think about Matt going to Mariners?
Yeah.
someone wait.
there's only
Riley's
like
not paying
two.
attention.
Where he was just
I
checking
was
his
like,
email.
oh, sorry, I was sleeping.
He was doing his Photoshop.
Yeah, this
He was
is
like, we're doing a show?
They're really excited for you.
That's
Yeah.
one guy.
Good
who's
job,
like,
Riley.
Yay. Awesome, man.
Yep.
Yay,
That's my good buddy.
Or what are you most excited about?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm excited to.
Because how long has it been since you've
It's been 5 years since
Okay.
we've done like
Just
really
straight
youth
youth
ministry.
full time.
Full time. Yeah, I mean we've been involved with stuff and
Totally.
stuff like that. You know
Yeah,
what?
you taught our camp. You're a life group leader. You're still a
You
youth
know,
ministry,
I'm-
but this is different.
Yeah, I mean this will be different. I
Oh,
mean
yeah.
I'm excited to. I'm excited for the relational ministry aspect. You know, I mean I miss being with students, and I think one of the huge turning points for me with this, where God really got a hold of me, is I was just thinking that. You know, the last 5 years has been some great ministry stuff, you know, some cool things, different, wild, weird. Part of it's the wasteland of working with adults, but it's been good. But I just miss helping to create an environment where, you know, students grow up in their faith and they turn into leaders and, you know, and that's,
It's awesome.
you know, in the last 5 years, I haven't done that, you know, not directly at least. So,
That's cool.
yeah, so I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to teach every week. I mean, in my role in high school ministry, even when I was the high school pastor, we had lots of teachers, and so I never felt like I had to teach every week. And so I'm really excited to do that, you know, I mean, because that'll be fun to get into that groove.
Does
So, yeah.
anything make you nervous? Like, you're like, oh, this is the one thing I'm not sure about, or nervous.
I'm not really nervous. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that it's a new culture. I mean, you know,
Sure.
new people, new team. Kind of one of the cool things is they've had so much transition and stuff that I'm going to get to build the team, you know, so I'm going to get to hire a couple people. And so
Super
that's
cool.
fun
That's
to be
cool.
able to come in and, you know, there's some people there, so it's not like showing up and there's nobody there, but, you know, I'm going
Right.
to get to,
Made me type out an
So-
application. I couldn't even handwrite it.
oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
To hire you, I have to type it out.
That's right. That's right.
Did you see my email between you and Josh when I said, hey, Josh, let's meet for lunch. We can talk speaking calendar before I start speaking over
I
there.
saw
Yeah.
yeah. Yes, I saw that.
Before you
snapped him
become
up.
free
You can't get
agent.
him
Yeah,
first
I've
half
got
of 2011.
I don't even know what our budget is, so we probably couldn't afford
Hey,
it.
based on what I've been paid the last one,
When I could do it out of my pocket.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll just.
Seriously.
you'll be fine.
That's good.
That's exciting.
So
Matt.
yeah, so we're
Congratulations.
really excited.
That's
My
so
wife
great.
is very excited. It was when this first came down, the idea about 3 months ago or whatever. It was one of those moments where really it was a moment in time where there was that lightning thought, inspiration. You know, hey, what if this was the next thing? And I thought, yeah, this is the next thing. It was
I
great.
knew it. I knew it. As soon as
So-
we had that conversation, Matt said,
Yeah.
I need to be back in the youth ministry.
Yeah, yeah. So.
Yeah. Hey, well, the three of us got together and we have a little gift for you.
Oh gosh, I should have known this was 99 thoughts.
99 thoughts for small group leaders.
We all chipped in.
And
very.
Is this an
It's one
author
of my
copy?
author
you know what? I'll give you 5 author copies for you to seed
give.
your
To
seed your
seed
staff
our
with.
staff. Maybe
Yeah,
it's-
your
maybe the
volunteers.
staff's already got it. I don't know.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well,
congratulations.
so it's great.
It's
It's
awesome.
great. I'm really excited. You know, the old high school pastor, Jeff McGuire, is one of our good friends for the team. We've known him. I've known him for like 20 years, literally, and so he is the high school pastor, but now he's the student ministries pastor. So my boss is a good friend, which is great. He gets to sit in all those meetings with the senior pastor and the executive team, and I am
And you get
so
to just do
Be
youth
your
ministry.
cheerleader.
Oh, I am so excited to
Yeah.
He
not
will
be
be your
doing that.
cheerleader. He's great.
So
That's
yeah.
so great.
Well, we're very excited. It will actually make some of your answers here at the podcast become better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
worthwhile.
I
even.
doubt
Well,
it.
it's going to be
I mean-
fun because all the newness that a
Yeah.
lot of questions that come in are people that are just starting and figuring
Yeah.
out where to begin, and so that's going to be so fun.
Yeah. it's
So what I'd
great.
like our team members to do is I'd like you to send stuff to sympodcast@gmail.com And let's just come up with all the reasons that Matt should not be a flake to the podcast. Like he
No, I'm not. I'm
This is part
committed.
of your. This is
This
part
is
of your DNA, your legacy
is.
that
Yeah, don't
that
leave this behind.
birthed the excitement of you going back into
Oh,
youth ministry.
we're
So
not leaving this
You can't
behind.
turn your back on this
I'd
podcast.
rather sell my child.
I'll
The
take
one,
Max.
the one
I
who
like him.
cries the most. No, not Max.
Oh.
Right now, this week it's more.
I'd take Morgan.
Mac.
Nope.
Yeah,
You gotta
Mac.
keep- I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not Mac.
Yeah.
I'm a
Okay.
good guy.
Ron would love a boy. I'll take him.
Okay.
Hey, we have
I
uh,
ran my
boy.
children.
we just
boy.
have a lot of momentum. We're approaching show 150.
200.
Right.
We are.
We are.
I'm just thinking.
half of a
Yeah.
half. Hey, yeah.
And that's going to be the Hawaii show. So
Oh.
You're gonna wanna
We've been
stick around.
given a Christmas tree.
a real tree.
I smell this thing. I can't smell anything, and I grab it, and I go, man, this is the most real fake tree
Well, if
I've
you
ever
wear
seen in my
these-
life. But it's
you
a
wear
real
these
tree.
lights. Oh, that's so funny. When you put these on, and you were saying you see these 3D glasses.
You really do.
You really do
Mine's
see
snowman.
angels.
Yeah.
I thought you were.
You thought he
goofing
was
around.
I
Santa
thought you were
Claus.
too.
I thought he was
Santa
making
Claus.
it up.
Yeah, this one's snowman. Here, Chuck.
This Christmas tree was
Santa
sent
Claus.
in by one of our team members,
Wait,
Katie.
this is real?
Yes,
That's
this
a
is
real tree?
It's a real
It's
tree.
a real Christmas tree.
Did you guys
From
talk
Jim
about
Lane.
Let's be quiet. The three boys. Quiet. Ready? Shh. Go, Katie.
Real Christmas tree. From Jim. And he sent a picture of himself and his youth ministry, which is so cute. But he says, the reason I've sent you a Christmas tree is because this farm is my office. So the farm where he harvests the tree is where he listens to the podcast. He started at 127 and then figured out he needed to go back to 00.
Absolutely.
wow.
So,
he's a
so
recycler.
fun. So he said, since you're so involved in my working environment, I thought you deserved to benefit from its fruit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Christmas Tree
No, it's not really
Lane.
a fruit.
This thing has fruit?
www.christmastreelane.info.
Wait.
Do they sell trees? Because I'll buy a tree
Christmas
there.
Where is he from? Where did he ship this thing from?
Yeah, let's
Well,
buy
I
trees.
couldn't figure it out.
Because he shipped us a tree.
Oh yeah, it was all shrink wrap.
Christmas Tree Lane is located 8 miles south of Ozark.
In Highway
The
23.
Then North Carolina, maybe?
Isn't that over
No,
in Saudi
Arkansas.
Arabia?
That is an amazing tree. And he
But it
nailed
says
it
North
to us.
Carolina
Yeah, it was all
in here,
shrink
too.
wrapped.
Oh, in here.
That's why I gave it to you. So
Tree
you would
farm in
discern all
North...
this.
I
It
know,
was
I can't figure it
cryogenically
out.
frozen.
North Carolina.
Amazing.
Like
He
my
ma-
third child.
He mailed us a tree.
Okay,
All right,
sorry.
Christmas
I'm not smart
Tree
enough
Lane.
to decipher this.
.info.
Dot.
Dot.
That's
I'm
it.
assuming it's .com.
.com.
This
All
is
right.
incredible.
I'll
that
buy
he's-
a tree.
Great.
I'm going to like his page on
Leland,
Facebook.
they're pollen-free.
Thank you.
Wow.
Leland cypress
They have
trees.
hot chocolate and Christmas cookies.
I know.
I'm feeling better already.
Wow, me
Hey, well,
too.
let's move on. Let's keep going. All right. Thank you so much, Jim. That is
Jim.
cool. That's the best gift we've ever got.
Well, and
Speaking
he
of
went back
trees-
to 00, so he
Oh,
should
he did
be,
go back to 00?
Well, that's
Put a
what it
tree up.
said.
He's going to, it says.
Oh, he's going to.
Oh,
Let us know when you do.
And I think he should be up here for the holiday season anyway.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean,
Who
We'll
else?
take care of that afterwards.
Yeah, you will.
yeah.
All right. This is from John. John said,
Just turning off
We
my
dis-
phone.
Are we distracting him?
I'm turning the phone off.
Mariners
You were
calls.
late. You were late, and you brought your phone.
And you're quitting.
How many times has Matt quit on me?
This has got to be, what, 4? Besides every day about 4 o'clock. It's like, done.
4
I'm
o'clock.
out.
I know, I was generous.
You guys.
Movies. I got to movies, guys. Two.
Yeah.
See you later.
That's going to be my favorite bit when Matt is so stressed out of his mind for me to call him and say, hey, I'm going to a double feature today. You wanna go?"
That'll be great. I'll be there right with you.
I was listening to episode 146 as the discussion came around to the magic number of full-time youth leaders to youth.
Oh, yeah.
I was reminded of Mark DeVries' book, Sustainable Youth Ministry. He says the magic number is 50 students per full-time youth leader. Page 36. He also says that your budget should run 1,000 to 1,500 per student in order to achieve those numbers. He will argue that these numbers occur consistently in the wild and that they can be used to guide a church as it plans to achieve goals related to attendance.
$1,000 a kid
1,000 to 1,500 per kid.
for the total budget, including personnel, or just program budget?
He was not that specific, but I have the book and we can check.
Okay.
It's a
It's an
fantastic. It's
excellent
been a
book.
little while since I wrote it. One of the very best.
Since you wrote it?
Since you wrote it?
Read it. Sorry. I wish I wrote it.
Mark
It's
DeVries
awesome.
with Josh Griffin.
No, it's a great book.
It
I'd
is
put it
great
up there, top 5 behind.
Better
know,
than
3 or 4
Purpose Driven
years.
Youth Ministry?
No, it's probably number 4 though.
Yeah.
I honestly,
it's a good
it
book.
is a
Very good
good book.
Better than the Bible?
That's number one, dude.
Oh,
Come on.
Anyway, that's just a little follow up. I like when people on our team follow up.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Speaking of people on our team
It's
that
nice to
follow
know
up,
they're listening.
Taryn Ramsey.
Oh, Taryn.
Taryn is the one who jumped in and mentored and said
Oh,
that she would
that's
mentor
right.
that guy that
That's
needed
cool.
help.
Yeah.
And we sent her a Live curriculum. And she writes and says, I just want to say thanks for the Live curriculum. I'm not sure what I did to evoke such a response from Brian, but it was and still is my pleasure to help talk him through his beginnings in youth ministry.
That's great.
She says I've been in different arenas in full-time youth ministry since 2006. I agreed to take on a transitional role as an interim youth pastor at my church, and I have my share of successes, failures, and humorous situations. They're actively interviewing. She has a blog, adventuresinYouthMinistry.com. Take that, Josh.
Got it.
Because I found that other first-time ministers like myself need a forum to share. Anyway, I've been listening to the podcast since I was an intern in 2006, and every week I carve out a little time to spend with friends. Thanks for your continued advice, humor, and constant coaching to Matt. Don't we all have a Matt in our group?
No.
Oh my goodness,
no.
that's on
You
there. That's
wish
funny.
You had a Matt in your group.
She says thanks. She said just kidding, but I thought that was very funny.
Yeah,
Strong.
I actually was deeply wounded by them.
Anyway,
Maybe
group
she
gonna
can
grow up
mentor
and
you now
be a
that you're
pastor.
starting a new
I
ministry.
need a mentor. That's right.
thanks for your generous gift. I'm still in shock and looking forward to using the curriculum in my ministry. We're
that's
thrilled.
amazing.
And she sent us 3 pictures, but we picked the one that has her hiding behind Call of Duty. We
No, it's
thought,
a
like,
video game. Do you know this?
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay.
Yeah, but thank you.
Do you have a Connect yet?
Connect?
Yep.
That's a video game thing.
Not sure what that is.
Are you serious?
Connect?
You're joking.
I don't know.
You're seriously serious? Don't know
I'm-
what
Well,
Connect
it's
is?
not that I mean,
Grandma knows what Connect is
No.
and called my house and said, "Oh, should we get that for the
Is
kids?"
that like the new Wii for Xbox?
yes, pretty much.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
No
Yeah, I know what that is.
controllers.
What games should you get?
Dance Central.
Okay.
It's amazing.
What else? Because if you get that Microsoft, you get 2 games with it, I think.
Yeah. Are you going to get
What games? Grandma's getting it. How great is that?
the rich one? Or the other one? I gave you an option.
Hey,
I gave
the
you an
other
option. Okay.
We don't have any other grandmas. Oh, gosh.
This is from Sean Kalick. It's at the Kirk, one church, 2 locations. Hey, team leaders. I am on a team of youth pastors and oversee the good handful of volunteers in my area. I wanted to get your opinions and Matt's wisdom on how to monitor Facebook profiles.
Perfect.
That alone was glorious.
That will preach right there.
To monitor
I don't see what's so funny about that.
See this. I think this may have been before your time.
Maybe I've only watched
Matt
00.
Matt
so.
said, "I don't give." I
No,
don't,
someone said,
Oh,
I'd
you don't
like to
give
have your
opinions.
opinion about something. And I started snickering. And then these guys are like, what are you snickering about? I said, I don't have opinions. I only have knowledge.
Got you.
Yeah.
Thank you for side noting.
Yeah. How do you monitor Facebook profiles of volunteer leaders without being creepy or careless? Have you ever had a situation where something on a leader's profile was a bit sketchy and you didn't know whether to address it or ignore it? I'd love to hear what kind of balance and guidelines y'all have used in this area so I can be a good leader without becoming a Facebook cop. Thanks for everything you do for the team. Well, thank you, Sean, for sending this question into sympodcast@gmail.com.
We had a situation like this just happen where
Okay.
we had a leader who was upset at his landlord.
Oh.
And so kind of went on this little mini tirade to his landlord on his wall. And with, choice language and, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he was totally emotional. And I am Facebook friends with as many volunteers as I can be. I'm pretty sure all my volunteers I'm friends with for the most part. And I peruse their walls more because it's fun and just to
Stay connected.
stay connected with them and look at fun pictures and stuff. But, it's definitely something that I'm also kind of just looking through it through the eyes of a parent, if a parent friends them or things like that, or just our ministry's reputation as a whole. But I wouldn't say that's my only motivation. I think it's both and.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's, you know, when I see things that stick out like this kind of tirade, which I know for this volunteer, it was just like a moment of weakness, an emotional moment. I know his heart and that kind of thing. But I, you know, a message was sent to him that just was kind of like, hey, you know, can you take this down? And hey, why don't you, you know, let's talk on the phone and just, is everything okay? And how are you? And what's going on? And that type of thing. So it was more of a moment of just kind of, gosh, something crazy is happening. But you also need to take this comment down off of your page because, you know, it's inappropriate. And you will probably look back at this a week from now going, oh gosh, why did I post that? And
Yeah.
It's already
kind
been
of thing.
archived.
Yeah, right. Well,
Forever.
and a lot of people had already seen it, you know, for sure.
Yeah.
So, but it was just, you know, just one of those things. I don't think I was policing him, but it was more for him and for us, I think.
Now, do you have a relationship with this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say we're like, I'm a super close with
Yeah.
this volunteer, but he's got close relationships on our team. And I think, yeah, I mean,
Where it felt natural, relationally, it felt natural.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
And they knew it was coming. I mean, that's the other part.
Well,
I
they know
mean-
that they're friends with, I mean,
But you expect them when they sign up to be a leader and you walk them through everything. One of the things
we
you
talk about
is
social
above-
media, for
yeah,
sure.
above
Totally.
reproach lifestyle
Yeah.
and social media is a part of that. And so I think with this, to not be a cop or not be creepy, you got to let your volunteers know beforehand. Hey, we check this stuff out. We're gonna, you know,
Totally.
it's real easy to pop off, and the reality is that, you know, just because it's on the internet, you know, you don't have to. At least I think you don't have to drop the hammer, which you didn't drop the hammer. If it happened in real life, a volunteer was having a conversation with somebody and they were yelling or whatever, stuff that they shouldn't have, you wouldn't kick them off the staff or you wouldn't come down with a heavy hand. You wouldn't, you know, you would pull them aside and say something. And how's
Coach
it
them
going?
through it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've had volunteers do that before, and you know, I just think it's cool to check it out. It's cool to let them know beforehand. Overreacting is tough because we're all human, and
Well, especially if you're up front, you know, with,
For sure.
you know, what we've have volunteers do is sign a little agreement that says, hey, I did this with Azusa yesterday, you know, when the Azusa Pacific University has this deal where it says we commit to these, you know, doctrines and
yeah.
lifestyle statements, and
Oh, these are
you
behaviors
sign
you
it. And
expect, yeah.
if I violate those behaviors, then they would have all the right in the world to talk to me about it.
Totally.
You have anything on that?
I thought I would, but you guys are great. That's what I would say.
It wasn't you guys, it was Katie.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
because his wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just kind of,
She just said what she did.
yeah.
But
so there you go.
relationships at the beginning are formed with all of our volunteers. I mean, that's something that is a huge value. So once relationship stuff's in place, then it just feels
Totally. And it's tough. I mean, what you say can and will be used against you, and that's true. I mean, your
Especially when you
behavior as a
post it.
leader in online or offline matters, and so
Absolutely.
it's going to be addressed.
What I
absolutely.
find is interesting is this whole like this idea, and it's not with this, but it's with everybody. Stalking somebody on the internet. Where I mean, that's
Yeah.
what Facebook is there for, is to look at
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't know
and
how
for-
you would seem creepy on.
And
for
well, I mean, but
reading.
people, I mean, even kids will say, "Hey, I'm stalking you" or whatever by reading it. And it's a joke and stuff like that. But it's just a funny. It's a funny line of thinking that exists out there, and I don't get it because you're not stalking somebody. I mean, it's all public. That's why they have it out there. But you are, I guess, stalking because that's what people call it. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
weird.
Right, but the whole point of Facebook is to read people's
Yeah.
walls and
yeah.
profiles and
Yeah, it's
whatever.
not like you're looking in, through their journal or whatever. I mean, that's just, I don't get it.
Yeah. They just have to be careful. I think, you don't want leaders to live a double life either, where they choose to not post about certain activities they're in. So you don't want to encourage them, do whatever you want, just only post right on,
It's bigger than the post.
You're right. It's much
Yeah,
bigger than the
yeah.
post. It's a
Lifestyle,
hard issue. It's
yeah.
a lifestyle. All those things matter
Yeah.
far more to me than a mistake that they
Yeah,
made on
do
the
whatever you
website.
want. Just don't post about it.
Exactly.
Don't ask, don't tell is what I've heard. That's
Well, we had a leader
Seriously,
that had
that's
a
my motto.
picture with, and she's over 21. She had a picture this week. This came up, and she's holding a alcoholic beverage, and that isn't the best choice. I wouldn't want that. Obviously, I wouldn't do whatever. But it wasn't a deal breaker either. The student was super offended that her leader would have a drink and whatever. I just thought that was really interesting. Going, well, be careful what you put on Facebook, but maybe it's bigger than Facebook. Maybe it's
So what'd you tell the student?
not much. I just said the first time I went to a small group and the small group home had a wine refrigerator, I was taken aback by it, and it's taken me a while to realize that people have grace to drink, and if they ever came drunk or if they were ever encouraging you to do illegal behavior, if there was ever any concern like that, I would be really concerned.
Yeah.
But the fact that she might have a drink with her friends on Friday night is not a position that would exclude her from being a small group leader.
So did you encourage this girl to talk to her about it?
I did,
Yeah.
but I don't know that she will, because she realized it maybe wasn't a big of a deal.
Yeah.
But out of context, or to a parent, or honestly to an older version of me from the past, I would have freaked out at that too.
Yeah.
Where it's not a position that our church,
So you've loosened up.
absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still don't drink, but loosened up.
It's because you're at one of those Southern Baptist
I
churches.
know, I'm not at Mariners. What?
I think actually you have to be an alcoholic to work there.
Oh, shoot.
Matthew.
And
you
that's
fired.
working at
That
Simply
can
now.
get you fired.
I got it.
Just that quickly.
Well, with that, it was so funny with the picture on the Facebook thing, because months ago, our whole small group was together. This was before you guys joined. It was a very horrible small group.
You guys, meaning Katie?
Before Katie, yeah.
People that are
Yeah.
not watching.
Yeah, Katie. And, and so Lee, who doesn't work at a church or whatever, Lee had a beer in front of him. And so I take the picture, and I'm like, I don't know why. Should I post this? Should I not? And I couldn't think of why, so I did. Well, Jake Rutenbar is at the other end of the table. He looks at the picture, and it looks like the beer's right in front of him. I mean, I didn't even know a beer was in the picture.
That is awesome.
And so, but I ended up taking it down because, he's a pastor, campus pastor at Saddleback, and it kind of looked like the
Tagged that
beer,
photo, and all
the
of a
beer
sudden
was
it's-
right in front of him. So,
Well, there's perception. I mean,
Yeah, the perception of it,
perception
you know.
of things, and then assumptions are made, and
Yeah. Because perception
Yeah.
is fact in the eyes of the uninformed. I'm going to have to remember that one.
here, I mean,
Yeah, note to self.
Now you're going to have to remember that.
you're growing up.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Right
that would
before
be
our eyes.
that would be full cycle vengeance if I went to be
You
on his
always
volunteer
say
staff
crap like
and
that.
and then just made him look bad.
That would be
When
awesome.
have I ever made you look bad?
Gosh.
Have you read small groups from start to
Oh,
finish?
How much time do we have?
Compare it to the number of times that I made you look good.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good way to put it, buddy. Way to spin
That
that.
cuts
Half
it in
full,
half.
no,
No
half
spin.
full.
This comparison is always the way to go. Hey, from our live show,
Average.
from our
Average
live
it
show,
out.
we had a question that was asked right before we started. This is from Russ Ponder. Riley, is he still on the live show?
Russ Dog 72.
Been talking.
Well, that's right. It's because we're so
not-
compelling. I can imagine.
No,
Yeah.
the clock's an hour. It's not. It hasn't fallen back yet
No.
on the
Panicked
clock.
a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah, what do you
'cause I have
got?
a meeting with students at 4.
Oh, well, it's not even close.
Oh, good. Whew. Sorry.
Russ wants to know, what are signs that students are owning their faith?
Ooh, that's great. That's a great one.
That
What are
is a
some
great
signs
question.
that students are owning their faith?
Well, I think I just kind of got two sets of eyes, so I think I'll start.
Well,
That's
one of
the
the things I
non-verbals.
see,
Perfect. Go for it.
when students bring their friends, that's a big deal. They're saying, I believe in what's happening. I want to share it with other people. They're not only owning it themselves, but they're owning it by saying, I feel confident enough and safe enough to bring you along with me. Someone who matters a lot to them, especially at this age. So that would be one way.
Yeah.
Now, I lean
Yeah.
a little evangelistic, so that would be a good answer.
Yeah.
I would say serving.
Or they're comfortable
Totally.
that there's like hot members of the opposite sex, and so it's
Totally.
easy
That as
to
well.
bring somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, serving. Go ahead.
I mean, I think, well, we have a ton of HSM students serving in junior high. And so watching them, serve, put their faith in action, love people, love unlovable junior hires. At times, it's just one of those
Right.
great moments, and I think for junior high, it's, I think serving is just one of those really tangible measuring sticks of them, wanting to step outside themselves and get it. And, I don't know. I like the serving piece of
good.
as a measuring stick.
Yep. Yeah, I think those are great. I was joking about the evangelism thing, but I think that's totally great. For the record, because I know there is a record. This is online.
This
Facebook
is.
somewhere. But I think another way to add to that is just questions. If a kid is owning their faith, then they're gonna have questions and ask what they're reading on their own or what they hear or
That's a good one.
things like that. I think with that is how much they pay attention, when you're teaching. I mean, either teaching on the weekends or teaching in a small group and stuff. And then kids that are owning their faith, they pay attention because they want to learn and they got that hunger and that thirst, to get some more stuff. I think it's really someone's eyes. I mean, you could tell when they own it, when they're excited, when the conversations that they have, there's lifestyle changes, things that, they overcome a particular struggle or they jump involved and serve. I mean, I think that's a good way to really know. The hard thing is it's really difficult to know when kids are getting it because you can fake it. It is so easy to fake, and it is so easy to make it seem like you're getting it. I mean, you could bring lots of people, or you can even be serving, and
Definitely.
you could even be asking questions, and you're still just
attendance.
looking for attendance.
Right.
Right,
Attendance
right,
doesn't
right.
say you're growing in your faith either.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that the only really way to know is to have a one-on-one relationship, but even in relationship, people can still fake it. I mean, you can still, and so it's really tough. But you can't let that discourage you. I think the tough thing is when you try and relegate it to having stuff memorized or being able to answer questions. I mean, I think asking questions is a better sign of owning your faith than being able to answer questions. Because, I mean, I think you can memorize and teach them, how many verses are in Malachi or whatever. But thank you. So that's what I have to say.
So the answer is yes, but not really.
Yes. What?
Yes, this is how you measure growth. You could totally do it. Yes, you can, but no, you really
Yeah.
can't.
Well, one of the things that I agree with everything you guys have said. I think they're all, they are signs. I think about where is that kid going to be 3 or 4 years after they're out of your youth ministry? I mean, that's really when you see
That's true.
ownership of their faith. I mean, you can see signs, but
Right.
there are also people who can perform those signs and not have heart change. But typically, after somebody's left a youth ministry, they're either owning their faith or they're walking away from their faith.
And the number that you have on that is variable because for some kids at year 3, that's when they're starting to think for themselves,
Right.
and they do reject it. I mean, they might not go crazy rebellion, but actually, we were just talking about an old student today. I won't name and stuff, but yeah, that they went through that phase, and now, like I'd say, 7 years later or whatever, they really love Jesus again. But so I mean, it's.
Well, and I think it's a very fair question for us to want an answer to as youth workers because you want to see results from the hard work that you're putting in. I mean, you want to go, is what I'm doing making any difference?
Sure.
That
Definitely.
that hitting the campus and going out for coffee with a kid and going to their game and prepping every week and training volunteers and all this stuff that you do. You want to see that all this activity is moving
Generating.
towards something.
Right.
Some kind
so-
of soul change.
Well, you just want to, nobody wants to waste their time. So it really is a fair question and, question what Josh wants to waste.
He's not so bad.
Yeah, I'd go either way.
Yeah,
probably.
did you see his gamer
Had nothing
score?
going on.
I did see his gamer score on his blog, but I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
Just it's a score, so it's a lot like sports.
Yeah.
Means I
It's a
don't watch
score.
TV
Okay.
and I'm playing video games.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like junior high a little bit more than high school even because I think for us it's a little bit more about planting seeds and feeling relaxed in that I talk about that a lot with leaders of hey, there's a good chance we aren't going to see anything in this concentrated 2 years, but hopefully sophomore, junior year, we might start seeing some of the story unfold a little bit, and then, college even. So I like that a little bit about junior high and feel comfortable and okay with not necessarily seeing huge leaps. I mean, in some students we do. I mean, it's case by case, but, most junior hires, we don't see a lot of their story unfold until you get them. So
Yeah, and if a kid goes bad in high school, we're just like
Stinking junior high.
Why didn't they do their job?
Why didn't
and then when they
they?
don't go to adult service, they're like, youth ministry's broken.
Totally. So I think it's okay to feel
Aren't you
comfortable in the fact that we're part of the process. Each year of youth ministry is part of the process, and that's okay. may not
there's
see
something.
signs.
There's something we did. There's something I wrote for ABS training about how to know when a kid is getting it.
You do. I have it. It's in my ministry toolbox.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff that you wrote that I still give to
We
leaders. I mean,
worked
it's
on it
like
together.
forever. It's forever old. It's like 12 years old.
Yeah.
That's really great,
Yeah.
though.
Maybe I need
Josh
to get
is
some of
writing,
that.
writing it down right now. 'Cause, he wants to make sure it's up on more than dodgeball.
I will. Fully credited.
It's in the
He's gonna
archives.
be up there.
He's gonna put it in his next book.
By the end of the day, I'll have some more of Matt's stuff on my blog. It'll be great.
Yeah.
And then what I've learned today, Matt, is I can cut and paste from Josh and put it on my blog that's yet to be out.
That's great. Look at that.
I'm,
Why not?
I
You could
don't-
just
Don't
link
give away
to
all
it.
the secrets. No, you don't just link to it.
You just cut and paste it?
Cut and paste.
You don't do that.
A chunk of it.
Oh yeah,
The
it,
best
it
joke.
increases your SOE,
SEO.
SEO. Darn it. Rankings.
Yeah.
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 It's a whole.
That's why I lift a lot of Matt's stuff because it's really good.
You don't lift my stuff.
I'm gonna lift how to
Maybe
know
you do.
if a kid is
I
getting
check
it.
into your blog like every 2 weeks.
That's
I got it on
awesome.
my RSS reader and scan
Excellent.
through them.
I read yours.
I'll
as
need
soon
to-
as you push publish, I've read yours.
Wow.
Sometimes before.
That's dedication.
Times before they go.
I'm in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Great
I
post you're
can't-
working on.
let's end with this. This comes from the great country of Canada.
Oh,
do you remember?
Oh, Canada.
Do you remember a few months ago, Alex Street was trying to get on Wipeout?
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
that?
yeah,
We
I
talked
remember.
about it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Vaguely.
He was on the Canadian version of Wipeout and won $100,000
Whoa.
and wants to give
He
10%.
should buy me a Christmas tree.
He wants to give 10% to the podcast.
What?
That is
What?
a lie.
Total lie.
Oh, I was like, that is insane.
He's tithing to the show. We just started a church. What?
Hawaii
No,
200.
he said, just caught up on past podcasts,
Hawaii 200.
and I want to let you know I didn't make it on the show. They had a crazy process in which I needed people to vote for my video. Then the
Shoot.
top 20 vote getters get a phone interview, and the top 10 favorites get to run the course in Toronto to make it onto the show. I did get enough votes to get into the top 20, so thank you for the plug.
Oh, you're welcome.
But my personality failed me again, and I didn't
Yes.
dazzle them enough to make it into the top 10 and run the
That's
trial
because
course.
you gotta be nuts.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
they're
got
gotta
with
be
the same
nuts with
personality as
Vienna to
yours,
go on
Matt.
that show.
Whoa!
Says you guys are awesome. Love the support for the fellow youth workers, even if it is completely ridiculous. Well, Alex, we are sorry you did
Yeah.
not make
Sorry,
it on
you
there.
actually have depth.
Yeah.
We want to encourage you to buy a Christmas tree at John's
Christmas Tree Lane.
Oh.
Christmas tree.
Dot info.
Did we already talk?